A blessing to always hear you speak from the heart. So my question is, you've said earlier that GK thrives on ordinary people who have this extraordinary passion to go beyond self. GK thrives on the spirit of volunteerism. As a volunteer for GK, please correct me if I'm wrong. One of the difficulties that I've encountered in some few communities of GK is the lack of consistent volunteers. People are just so busy, they're engaged into so many things. And these are the same people that we expect to help in GK. So we've already talked about sustainable development, even sustainable poverty. How do you think can we actually promote sustainable volunteerism? Thank you.
Thank you. Again, in the same way that now Nestlé talks about creating shared value beyond conventional CSR, Gawad Kalinga now talks about radical citizenship beyond volunteerism. And no nation was ever built without its population sacrificing for it. And so we're now starting to really get a lot of young people, who after graduation are giving up 2 to 3 years of their corporate life just to work for Gawad Kalinga and many other worthwhile causes. But then we have to go again for sustainability because the work can never be sustained through charity and volunteerism alone. And that's the reason why we partner with Nestlé and other corporations. Because, like for instance, our partnership with Ateneo, they now have hired 10 full-time workers for Ateneo to be able to oversee the 13 villages that they have started with us. And now we are also partnering with McKinsey and the Ateneo School of Management to build also sustainable livelihood by building a new generation of entrepreneurs now who will partner with poor communities. And so again, it's also a challenge for us to build a new economy. There are 3 things to change this country, and it's going to be a process, and that's the reason we have a 21-year timeline. And this is about values. First is transform politics through what we call Kalinga politics, politics of caring. By also now identifying a lot of good leaders, regardless of partisan colors. Secondly, the Bayanihan economics, the economics of sharing. And then also the Bayani culture, the culture of radical citizenship and heroism. And so people have to invest in this country if they want to see a better future for themselves and for their children. And the families will not understand because my own executive assistant last year decided not to take on his scholarship at Johns Hopkins to become a doctor, but decided to work with Gawad Kalinga. But now he's assigned for the Gawad Kalinga Hope Initiative in Singapore, and he will be taking his master's degree. He will be getting a scholarship in Singapore. Now again, Filipinos sometimes want instant gratification. And so even the business here, the good entrepreneurs here are not really people like myself, but really the Filipino Chinese, because again, building a business entails sacrifice. Building a nation entails sacrifice, and it has to go beyond just conventional volunteerism.
Thank you. Thank you for that question. One more question before we wrap up. Well, one of the previous questions sent in was, is there a very big difference between urban development and rural in terms of Gawad Kalinga's villages?
Well, our focus now is rural development. We partnered with friends from Toronto and from the US to build also a community for the mudslide victims of Gisaugon. And we have now not only built homes, but we have also a pineapple farm, we have a prawn breeding area, we have a goat breeding station. And this is done in partnership with local government, in partnership with other NGOs. And so now in Bagong Silang, we're doing public health in partnership with the UCLA and also with the barangay. So Bagong Silang, where Gawad Kalinga began 15 years ago as a social experiment, from being the most troubled, the most dangerous barangay in the country, where more than 50% of the inmates of the jails in Caloocan came from, it was chosen 3 months ago as now one of the safest.
We partner as business, individual, or anybody, or educators with the best way, the fastest way to get to partnership with you?
We have 2,000 communities now. If you are interested in environment, and please let us know. If you want to do it in Samar, you want to do it in Bacolod, you want to do it in Iloilo, let us know. If you want health, then let us know also, because we have our Gawad Kalusugan. If you want to do human capacity building, please let us know. The thing here is we just have provided a massive community platform, and we want to invite every Filipino. In fact, the national service training of most schools now, many are now also in partnership with us. So the community service of our students. So again, it's just expanding the base. So our target is 50,000 communities. So Nestlé, I hope, will continue to build more villages in the coming years. They now have one in the works with Cagayan de Oro. And so whatever it is, their interest or their expertise.
Most trusted Filipino, Mr. Tony Meloto.